Good morning all. Audio video clear? Good morning all. Audio video clear? So today we are discussing the topic statement related problems. A topic from which in the last year also in UPSC exam 2 questions were there. Before that questions were very less, but in last year 2 questions were there. That is why we are discussing this topic in particular. And for other exams also this is a common topic that is repeatedly asked. So for the new students, this is a series where we are discussing all topics of UPSC CSAT, 40 lectures, quantitative aptitude and reasoning, 40 lectures, and we are starting a comprehension free lecture series also. After 1 week we'll update you regarding that. In the series of UPSC CSAT in 30 minutes, quantitative aptitude and reasoning, that is there only for 2 more days, but after that, only for after today's class 1 more lecture only, but after that we will be conducting a comprehension series of about 5 to 10 lectures. So that will start from most probably 1st of June. So for the new people, my name is Christy Varghese. These are the books I have written, and my book CSIR NET General Aptitude and New Outlook is currently the bestseller book for part-day preparation for CSIR NET exam. In Amazon and Flipkart it is available, and these are the courses we offer. For CSIR NET aspirants, we have a complete course in our mobile application Christy's classes, complete course on general aptitude section, in which 60 recorded videos and free online study materials are also part of this. 100 flashcards, 50 topic wise PDF, 50 practice worksheets and test series. And in this course, complete theory, previous year questions, shortcut tricks, exam hacks, practice worksheets, mock test, everything is covered in a single course. That's why it's called a complete course, and the course is in English and Hindi. The course can be accessed in laptop and mobile, and this is a special price for your upcoming exam, special offer price, and the demo videos are there in the mobile application Christy's classes. So check the description of the video to download the mobile application Christy's classes. More details you can get in this contact number. Okay, so these are the other free resources we provide. Our website christyvarghese.in, the Telegram channel, WhatsApp group and mobile application. There is a general Telegram channel also, and there is a separate Telegram channel for this playlist. The materials of this playlist are also updated there. Check the description of the video for joining that. For UPSC aspirants and for other aspirants, 2 Telegram channels are there. And other playlists in this channel also you can follow for further learning. For different exams we have separate playlists. For UPSC itself, last 5 years question papers, shortcut techniques etc. are discussed in this playlist, so check it out. And for speed maths also we have a separate playlist, and for other exams like GATE exam, NET exam, we have other playlist also, you can check it out. And this is the schedule of this particular course. 39th lecture, 1 more lecture after this, reasoning miscellaneous questions. Okay, so as I have told before also, this shortcut approaches of doing questions is very important. If you are flexible with the shortcut approaches, that will help you to save a lot of time. Okay, so let us start today's topic, statement related problems. So all of you, make sure your friends are also invited to this lecture. This topic is a common topic for most competitive exams, so you can invite other aspirants preparing for other exams also to be part of this. So what is a statement? Statement is a meaningful declarative sentence that is either true or false, but not both. Statement can be true, statement can be false, but statement cannot be true and false at the same time. Statement cannot be true and false at the same time. For example, the example is written in this slide. Go through it and check whether it is a statement or not. Are they statements? 5 plus 2 is 5. Earth is a star. Delhi is in India. Which all of them are statements, which are not statements? Can you mention which are statements and which are not statements? All of you, those of you watching me live or recorded, those of you watching recording, you can mention in the comment section, and others can mention in the live chat also. So all these 3 statements are all these three sentences are statements itself. Whether it is true or false, that does not matter, but it should be either true or false. It cannot be both at the same time. That is the idea. So now you may be thinking, then all sentences are statements. No, I will show you examples. So first of all, here this sentence 5 plus 2 is 5, that is false, but statement can be true or false. But it cannot be true and false simultaneously, but it can be either true or false. Earth is a star, that is false statements. It is false declarative sentence. Delhi is in India, that is a true statement. So whether it is true or false, all these three are statements. Then for example, this question is asking which of the following is not a statement. Make a try, all of you. Which of the following is not a statement is asked. All of you make a try. With this question you will understand when a sentence qualifies to be a statement and when not a statement. Spandana, these questions, yes, for GATE also this is useful. We are discussing the theory of this topic, which is useful for all competitive exams. Any answers? Some of you got an answer. Very good. So, which of the following is logically incorrect means which of the following is not a statement. I always speaks the truth. Yeah, if that is true only, na. If the speaker is always speaking the truth person, that will be always true. And if he is not always speaking truth, that is a false statement. But it is not simultaneously true and false. That is why it is a statement. I occasionally lie. Yeah, if the speaker is occasionally lying person or sometimes lying person, that is true, or it is not true. If it is true, it is only true. If it is false, it is only false. It will not be true and false simultaneously. If it is both true and false simultaneously, that is not a statement. I occasionally speak the truth. That also, if it is true, that is true only. If it is false, it is true, false only. So true or false only. It is not true and false. But fourth statement, I always lie. Just imagine, let's listen to this carefully. If I am the speaker, and for me, if the statement is true, what is the meaning of that? All my statements are lies. That is the meaning of this, na? The meaning of I always lie being true is, I always lie. All my statements are lie. All my statements are lie means all my statements are false. That means the statement I always lie also will be false. That means truthity of the statement is leading to the falsity of the statement itself. That means the statement is or the sentence is simultaneously true and false. That is an example of an invalid or logically incorrect statement. So option D is the answer. Because it is simultaneously true and false in this case. That is why it is not a statement. All clear? I always lie if it is true means all statements are lies. So the statement I always lie is also a lie. Another example I can say for this not a statement is I am lying now. I am lying now. I am lying now means if that is true, the statement I am lying now is also a lie. That means I am not lying now. That means that is a true statement. So truthity leads to falsity, falsity leads to truthity, and that cycle just continues. So that is an example of a sentence not being statement. So hope all of you understood what is a statement and what is not a statement. Now some characteristics or some things about statements you should know. What is negation of a statement? Negation is denial of a statement. For example, Mumbai is a city. Negation is Mumbai is not a city. So using not to negate something. He is a good person. Negation, he is not a good person. So now another thing that you have learned in school days is truth table. That also will be helpful in some of the questions. Truth table. Truth table means what all are possible for when two people are speaking, what all are possible. Either both of them are telling truth, or both of them are lying, or first person telling truth and second person lying, or first person lying and second person telling truth. This truth table idea will help you in many questions. When question comes, I will explain more about it. So this much is clear. Now, negation of a statement we discussed already. Some more properties or some more operations on statements we have to understand. Converse, inverse and contrapositive. Listen very carefully. I will explain with the statement itself. These are called conditional statement. If P then Q type of statements are called conditional statement. If it rained last night, the field will be wet. So the condition is it rained last night. The conclusion is the field will be wet. So if it rained last night, the field will be wet. If that is a statement and if that is assumed to be true, what will be the converse of that statement? This is if P then Q. That means P implies Q. P implies Q. So the converse of a statement is Q implies P. If P implies Q is a statement, converse is Q implies P. If Q then P. It rained last night, field will be wet. So if field is wet, it rained last night. That is converse. Is it clear? Then one thing you have to understand is converse is not necessary to be true always. It can be false also. For example, in this case, if it rained last night, the field will be wet. Means raining implies field being wet. But field being wet does not imply raining last night, because the field can be wet by other reasons also. Na? You can pump water into the field and make it wet. That is how irrigation works. Na? When a place is not getting enough rain also, still we can do agriculture there by artificially pumping water. So same thing, if the field is wet then it rained last night, that is not necessarily true. It can be true or false. So converse of a statement, what is it? And converse may or may not be true always. I mean, may be true sometimes, may not be true sometimes. That is clear, I guess. Now, next another thing is inverse. Inverse of a statement. What is inverse of a statement? Statement P implies Q. Inverse is not P implies not Q. Not P implies not Q. If it rained last night, the field will be wet. The inverse of it will be, if it did not rain last night, the field will not be wet. If it did not rain last night, the field will not be wet. That also is not necessarily true. Just like I told you about converse. If it did not rain last night, still the field can be wet, as I told, by pumping water. So that is why this also is not necessarily true. We cannot say it is always true. But one more thing is there, contrapositive, which always will be true if the given statement is true. If not Q then not P, that is contrapositive. That means it is the converse of the inverse or inverse of the converse. That is contrapositive, we can say. P implies Q means rain last night, field will be wet. Converse is field is wet, then it rained last night. Na? So contrapositive is not Q implies not P. Not of this, not of this. Not Q implies not P. That means if the conclusion part is field will be wet, that field will be not wet, not negation of that, then the hypothesis negation of that. This is called, first part is hypothesis, second part is conclusion. Hypothesis implies conclusion is the statement. Contrapositive means conclusion implies hypothesis. I mean, if hypothesis and conclusion are interchanged. Inverse implies negation of the hypothesis implies negation of the conclusion. And contrapositive implies negation of the conclusion implies negation of the hypothesis. If the field is not wet, then it did not rain last night. That is true, na? Because question says that if it rained last night, the field should confirm be wet. But field is not wet. That means it did not rain last night. Are you all understanding? You can relate it to your real life situations also. Real life when you hear statements. If you study well, you will pass in the exam. That means if you pass in the exam, you may have studied well. But there can be other reasons also. Na? So the converse may not be true in that case. Like sometimes we are lucky that we passed in the exam. Yeah, not the exam that you are preparing now, because the exams that you are preparing now, it definitely need rigorous study to pass. But some exams without studying also sometimes we pass. Some of our school exams, some of our class tests, some of our university exams. Sometimes it will be so simple that even if we don't study well, we still pass in the exam. Even if we may not get good marks, but we pass in the exam, right? So in that situation, if you study well, you will pass in the exam. Think about the converse, inverse, contrapositive, which all of them are true, which all of them are not necessarily true. Think about it. Okay, all of you understood this much. What is converse, inverse, contrapositive and negation also. So more explanation of this. If the field is wet, it rained, those things I have mentioned here. Now these are the basic things you should know about statements. Now I will show you questions related to statements. Some questions are so straightforward questions. This is an example of a straightforward question. CSIR NET aspirants, which of the following is incorrect statement? I showed you one. Now you always lie. That was your previous year question actually. To explain that concept, I have taken that question. And this is a UPSC CSAT question. So all of you try this. Here you don't have to worry about converse, inverse or anything. It is statement and conclusion type question. Statement and conclusion type. That is another type question, but it is very simple question. It is more about understanding the meaning of the sentences actually. Like a comprehension passage, you have to understand the meaning of the sentences and conclude. When we hear in real life also, like opinions from people, many a times we misunderstand that because we are not taking the right conclusion. So here CSAT also, in CSAT UPSC is also checking that whether you are able to process a statement properly and get the right conclusion out of it. Otherwise there will be too much misunderstandings. Na? In real life also we have, we don't like some people maybe because we are not understanding their statements properly. We are not, they may have meant it right, but we may have understood it totally wrong. In relationships also that happens a lot. Na? So this type of questions are actually good in different ways, that in real life also you can make better conclusions or better deductions from the statements. Okay, some of you got an answer. Consider the given statement and two conclusions that follow. Statement: morning walk is good for health. Morning walk is good for health. That is a statement given. Conclusion: all healthy. So these kinds of keywords you should understand. These things I will teach you in comprehension also, how to avoid extreme words. This is an extreme word. All healthy people go for morning walk. All healthy people, that means you cannot avoid even one person. Everyone, every healthy people go for morning walk. Is it anywhere mentioned in the statement? Morning walk is good for health. That does not mean that all healthy people go for morning walk. So this is clearly not a conclusion from the statement. Yeah, in these kinds of questions, please don't relate it to real life examples. I mean, the given statement only you should understand. Your commonly known facts or your personal experiences should not affect these conclusions. Only from the statements what can be concluded, that is what the question is asking. So all healthy people go for morning walk, we don't know. Morning walk is essential. This essential is also an extreme word. I will give you a list of extreme words when we discuss comprehension. Morning walk is essential for maintaining good health. Essential means it cannot be avoided. It cannot be avoided. It only says morning walk is a good practice. There may be many other good practices which can replace morning walk also. Na? Yeah, maybe evening walk or not walk, going to gym or many other physical activities may be better. I'm just giving you practical examples so that you can relate. But morning walk is essential for maintaining good health. We don't know. From the statement, we cannot say that. So neither 1 nor 2 is the correct answer. Is it clear to all of you? Simple, right? When it is told essential means it is sufficient for maintaining good health. That is also an implication. Again, just because you go to morning walk does not make sure that your good health is maintained. That is just one of many things you can do. That is what the statement is saying. So one more such type question asked in 2016. Make a try. So if you're watching me live or recorded, if you feel that these sessions are useful, do hit the like button. That will help this series to reach to more and more people. It's a completely free series for continuous 40 lectures. We have continued this series. So do support this initiative by sharing it to your friends. If any of your friends or any of your Telegram groups or Telegram channels, WhatsApp group, WhatsApp channels, any students ask for content for this particular topic or particular UPSC exam, you can share this playlist also to them. ओके बिट्टू, वो प्रैक्टिस से आप खुद भी ऐसा कर सकता है. मैं मैक्सिमम सिंप्लीफाई करके बता रहा है इसलिए आपको ऐसा इजी लग रहा है, लेकिन प्रैक्टिस किया तो खुद भी ऐसा मतलब वो एक स्किल डेवलप करना है. प्रैक्टिस करके करके वो डेवलप हो जाएगा. मैं मेरा एक्सपीरियंस से इसको सिंप्लीफाई कर रहा है, बट आप सबको भी सेम कर सकता है. डोंट वरी, प्रैक्टिस ज्यादा करिए, वो इंप्रूव हो जाएगा, वो स्किल डेवलप हो जाएगा. ओके, सो कमिंग बैक टू दिस क्वेश्चन, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट. Many of you got an answer. We shall go either for picnic or for trekking. Either or. That means one of these two. One of these two only we want to go. We have to go. We go for picnic but not for trekking. Which of the following falsify the claim? I told you statement can be true or false. So which of the following will make this statement false? We go for picnic but not for trekking. That is either or, na? Picnic or trekking. Either or. So this will not falsify. So not the answer. Activities like picnic and trekking are encouraged by the health authorities. That have nothing to do with this sentence, but that is not falsifying the claim. That is why that is also not the answer. We go for trekking but not for picnic. That is also either or, na? Picnic or trekking. So either or. So this is also fine. This is also fine. We do not go either for picnic or for trekking. That means one of these two we should go. We do not go for either means zero activities we are participating. That is falsifying this, na? Because this is saying at least one activity should be, not at least one, exactly one. Exactly one activity should be participated. But this says zero activity we are participating. So that is falsifying the claim. That is falsifying the claim. For example, when I am saying that today it will rain, if today it is not raining, that is falsifying my claim. Same way, if I am saying we shall go either for picnic or for trekking means, if we do not go either for picnic or for trekking means, that is getting falsified. Are you getting the point? Simple, right? Okay, if you felt this chapter questions are simple, I will show you more tougher question which was asked in 2023. I will show you the right process to do this question, then this can be made little more easier. But compared to previous question, this is like pro max type of questions compared to the previous questions, last two questions we discussed. So try this anyway. Make a sincere attempt, then it will be easy for you to understand when I explain. The clue I can give you is the truth table I taught you, what is truth table we discussed. That will help you to understand this question better if you want. Without truth table also you can do. Truth table helps. One and a half minutes more I will give you. Try this question, all of you. Okay, so I'll explain. Consider the following statement in respect of the 5 candidates PQRST. 2 statements are true, 1 is false. So this is where you have to start your analysis. Exactly 2 statement true, 1 statement false. So yeah, it have mentioned also which are the 2 statements. So then that is little more easier. Sometimes they will not mention which is true, which is false. That you have to deduce actually. So the truths, let us start with the true statement. One of P and Q was selected for the job. That means from P, like previous question, picnic or trekking, either picnic or trekking, same way either P or Q was selected for the job. That means from the set of PQ, I will take PQ as a group. PQ as a group. From this group only one person is selected. Then RST, there are 3 more people. Next true statement is at most 2. At most 2 means maximum 2 people from RST are selected. That means from RST, 2 people means 0 or 1 or 2. These are possible. 0 or 1 or 2 people are selected. Not more than 0 or 1 or 2. I mean not more than 2. Because maximum 2 that is mentioned. That means what you can say from these 2 statements itself, what you can say. From PQ exactly 1, from RST best case 2 people, maximum 2 people. That means total best case 1 plus 2, 3 people only maximum can be selected. Maximum selection is 3 people. And what is the first sentence saying? At least 4 were selected for the job. That is impossible. In the best case also, from RST 2 people can only be selected. From PQ 1 person can be selected. 2 plus 1 is 3. All of you understood how we eliminated first statement. If you use the right approach, these questions are not very difficult at all. Please respond, is this clear or not? Now next sentence. So with this 2 true statements itself, we have eliminated this first conclusion. What about conclusion 2? S was selected for the job. S was selected or not? Yeah, from the two true statements, we only understand that from RST, either 1 person or 2 person, either 0 person or 1 person or 2 person was selected. But who was selected, we don't know. Who was selected, we don't know. 0 or 1 or 2 people were selected, that only we know. That is why we can use this false statement also. We have to use it. Then only you can conclude. How? At least one of R and S was selected for the job. At least one. That means from RS, either R or S or both. At least means 1 or 2 are okay. And that is false. That is false means 1 person getting selected, 2 person getting selected, these 2 are impossible. That is the meaning, na? And from the That means 0 people from RS should be selected. 0 people from RS should be selected. That is the meaning, na? At least one of R and S, or think about some other real life examples. I am saying that after one, think about your school days. In your school, after a quarterly exam or a midterm exam or whatever exam, 5 subjects are there. I am saying that at least one subject I have passed. At least one subject I have passed. If that statement is false, what is the meaning? At least one subject I have passed, that is false. That means I haven't passed even one subject. That is the meaning of that, na? At least one subject means 5 subject if it is there. At least one subject means 1 subject, 2 subject, 3 subject, 4 subject, 5 subject. All these are possible. But if this is false means I didn't pass in 1 subject also, I didn't pass in 2 subject also, I didn't pass in 3 subject also, I didn't pass in 4 subject also, I didn't pass in 5 subject also. So I passed in 0 subject. That means I failed in all subjects. Are you getting the point? Same way, think about this. At least one of R and S was selected. If that is false means none of R and S is selected. That is the truthity of that. At least one. Negation you can think. False means negation. I told you about negation of statement, na? So negation will be none of R and S was selected. None of R and S was selected means we already understood R and S no one was selected. R and S no one was selected means S was selected for the job is impossible, na? So this is not correct. This is not correct. So option D is the answer. Please respond, all of you. This was a challenging question, but I hope it is now easy to understand. Those of you are watching me live or recorded, like to hear from you whether you understood this. 2023 this was asked. A very good question. Yeah, in this question actually truth table was not necessary. There was another question, next to question we are going to discuss. That is where truth table will help you to understand better. And combining 3 statements, what we understand, at most 2 of R and S was selected means 0 or 1 or 2. But we know that R and S was not selected from the second false statement. False statement. That means maximum T only can be selected. Either T selected or T not selected. And from P and Q, one person is selected. So total, maximum 2 people only can be selected from this 5 people. That is a final conclusion. But that is not asked in the question. That is why we don't have to say that. Okay, then this was another question asked in 2023 paper itself. 2023, same. This subject, this topic itself, 2 questions were asked. So I'll just adjust the slides a bit. It's another very interesting question. All of you try. Here drawing all truth table is not possible, but this truth table idea will help you to understand. Okay, due to lack of time, I will start explaining. So, if let PQRST be 5 statements such that if P is true, then Q and S are true. If P is true, that is a conditional statement. So, if P is true, Q and S are true. But what if P is false? Then different things can happen. Maybe Q and S are true. Maybe both of them are false. Maybe first one true, next one false. Maybe first one false, next one true. All these are possible. Are you getting the point? If P is true, both Q and S are true. That does not mean if P is false, both Q and S are false. Not necessary. So, keep this idea in mind. Now, if R and S are true, then P is false. R and S are true means R true, S true. Then T is false. That only means if R and S are true, T is false. If R and S are not true, T can be true or false. Like if both of them are false, T can be true or false. Both are possible. If one is true, one is false, then also T can be true or false. So this idea keep in mind. With respect to this, now let us check each conclusion. If T is true, then at least P and R must be true. If T is true, we have to start from if T is true condition. If T is true, if R and S are true, confirm T is false. If R and S are true, then T is false. That means, one second. T is true. Just a minute. I'll just come in a minute. Please wait. Okay, let's continue. So the question says that the conclusion that is first mentioned is if T is true, then at least P and R must be false. At least P and R must be false. Let us check when will be P and R or P false and R false. So about P and R, P it is told if P is true, then both Q and S are true. If P is true, both Q and S are true. That means if at least one of Q and S are not true, then P is not true, we can say. If one of Q and S are not true, then P is not true, we can say. Contrapositive idea. The contrapositive idea we discussed now. If a statement is true, its contrapositive should definitely be true. That means if P is true, then Q and S are true. So if Q and S are not true, P is not true, we can say. If Q and S are not true. If Q and S are not true, P is not true, we can say. Just a minute. I am not getting the easy solution. Just a minute. Think a bit. There are different ways you can analyze this, but the easier way. Okay, we will go to the second statement and come back to first statement after this. Second statement is saying if Q is true, then P is true. If Q is true, then P is true. Is that necessary? For example, we will think about the contradiction of this. If Q is not true, what happens? If Q is not true, if Q is true, P is true. Let us take a situation where Q is true and S is not true. If Q is true and S is not true, will that make P true? No, right? The word is and. If Q is true and S not true, then P is true is false. That means Q is true does not guarantee P is true. Q is true does not guarantee P is true, because when Q is true and S is not true, P is not true. Because for P to be true, Q being true is also important, S being true is also important. But let us check second statement also if there is any problem of S not being true. S not being true means R and S are true, then T is false. Yeah, that is not connected to P at all. So if Q is true, P is true, that is not a conclusion we can make. The reason, when Q is true and S is not true, P cannot be true at all. P should be false because of contrapositive of the sentence. So that is why second statement is not correct at all. Now first statement let us check. First statement let us check again. If T is true, then at least one of P and R must be false. Let us understand this at least one of P and R must be false meaning. At least one means either P only or R only or P and R. At least means that na? Either P only false or R only false or P and R being false. That means the only thing we don't want is both being true. Other than both being true, in all other cases, T is true with respect to P and R's truth it is told. So, at least one of P and R must be false, means P only false, R only false, P and R false. In all those three cases, if T is true, we will get all these three cases. That means, if T is not true, we will get the other case, na? If T is not true, we can say, if T is not true, it can be P and R both being true also. P and R both being true also. Okay, one second. That analysis will be confusing. Some of these kinds of questions, this presence of mind is very important. Today my presence of mind is not supreme, so I'll just try once more. If T is true, then at least one of P and R must be false. Okay, let us consider this way. If T is true, then at least one of P and R must be false. At least one means P only false, R only false, P and R both being false, all are okay. Let us think from the question where it is mentioned about T is true. Nowhere it is mentioned T is true, but T is false is mentioned, and I told you contrapositive always will be true. This statement, what is the contrapositive? Contrapositive means T is false means R and S are true is false. Or R and S are false. T is false means T is true. T is true implies, the contrapositive of the sentences, T is true implies R and S are true is not true. That means R and S is not false. R and S both being true is not true. R and S both being true is not true means either R only true or S only true, or none will be true. None will be true or R only true, S only will be true if T is true. That is the meaning, na? Because if R and S both are true, then T will be false for sure. So if T is not false, what is the meaning? Either R and S, none of them will be true, or R only is true, or S only will be true. It cannot be R and S both being true. Because if R and S both being true means T cannot be true, T should be false. That means there are three cases. None of them true, one of them true. One of them means R only true, S only true. So let us consider this case. So if T is true, if T is true, these three things happens. That means, but here the question is saying about P and R must be false. We are saying about R and S, na? So this P and S, if you can connect it, then you can actually conclude this, na? Then you can actually conclude this. Can you connect P and S? Yes, look at the first sentence. If P is true, both Q and S is true. Both Q and S is true means S is also true. If P is true, Q is also, S is also true. So instead of P being true, we can write S being true also. So if P is true, both Q and S is true. What is the contrapositive of this? If Q and S are not true, P is not true, we can say. If Q and S are not true, that means S not being true, confirm that P is not true. S not being true. S not being true, we can confirm that P not being true. By that, we can actually replace this P by S. Yeah, this is a little tricky one. So we can replace P by S, and by that we can say that at least one of S and R must be false. That is true. I know that this explanation will be more confusing. I'll do one thing. This I will explain in the next class once again for clarity. This is the pattern of explanation, but the way I explain was not clear, I know. So we will discuss this later about first statement. For second statement only, I hope all of you understood it. So first only is correct, second is not correct. That is a correct answer. So second will not be correct. I hope all of you understood it. This one question, hold it for the next class. Next class we will be discussing miscellaneous reasoning questions. So in that class we will discuss this question once again, at least the first statement of this, first conclusion of the statement. Once again, I'll show you a truth tables. By that you will be getting a little more clarity for this question. Okay, anyway, I hope all of you got familiarity with statement type problem. This question asked in 2023, I think it is completely clear. This question, the clarity that you need, I will give you in the next class. So next class will be the last lecture in this course. So the 40th lecture in this course. As I have told in most of the classes, like to hear all of your feedback about the series, whether the series was useful for you. Do let me know. Most probably next lecture will be after 3 or 4 days because I am traveling for next 3-4 days. That is why I wanted to complete as many topics before that travel so that you can do your preparation well before exam. Now only one single lecture, that is reasoning miscellaneous. And once again I'm telling, please share this playlist to maximum people. Let more people know about this lecture series, and not only my series, any such free initiatives which is helping students. Please support those initiatives, because from my experience, I know that if an educator is giving free classes, definitely one objective will be the educator want more people to know about his or her classes, and also that educator want to help out maximum people. So those educators try to support paid courses. Definitely you can take, because paid courses have its own advantages, but many people may not be able to even afford paid courses, or they have joined a paid course but they want to get an extra practice. So those kinds of students, do share this playlist to maximum people, and the Telegram channel we have given in the chat. You can be part of it, where you will get study materials. Last few days study materials will be together sending in the group. By today, tomorrow, you will get most of them. Hopefully, we are working on the study materials, so that also make use of it. So that's it. Statement related problems all of you understood, I guess. And CSIR NET aspirants, once again, the complete course, the details you can see here. You can join it by downloading the mobile application Christy's classes. And those of you who want free resources, follow us at these handles, and other playlists in this channel also do check out. And once again, do let us know what you felt about the series in the comment section, so that more people also know about the series. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.